What's up everyone, today I'll be showcasing a team I stole from another creator by the name of Wholesome. Wholesome has been running the team you currently see on screen for the past 3 or 4 seasons, and he's been doing extremely well with it on the front page of the leaderboards a lot of the time. He really knows the ins and outs of this team. I'm gonna be showing you some good battles today, but if you really want to get to know this team, if you really want to know the ins and outs, go check out Wholesome's stream. I'll put the link in the description below. He goes through all the matchups, all the nuances, and he's truly mastered this team. So go check him out. Anyway, the team is Shadow Machamp, Shadow Snorlax, and Alolan Muk. And honestly, when I first saw this team, I was like, yeah, this team honestly looks like garbage. I mean, it kind of loses to Toxicroak. There's no like real anti-flyer, like overall like no real anti-Swampert. But the amazing part of this team is that every single one of these Pokemon is extremely flexible. You know, Machamp can just counter through pretty much everything except for confusion users. Snorlax and Amok can take care of us confusion users, but they're also extremely flexible. Like even if a fighter comes in versus Snorlax, which generally is the hardest counter to Snorlax, Snorlax can usually still burn a shield with body slams, and the same counts for Alolan Muk. Alolan Muk struggles with Swampert and also fighters, but a Sludge Wave still hits fighters really hard. Dark Will still hits Swampert really hard. So this team just 3 extremely flexible mons, which allows for some really nice plays. You're usually not hard countered that easily, and by playing around with energy and switching, you can usually take the win in many seemingly bad scenarios. And another really great thing about this team is in the first team I faced here in this video, I faced the Snorlax, Kingdra, Charmer line, which is quite common, and this team just destroys that. Anyway, into the battles, we have Machamp into Dragonite. Generally not a great lead though. If you bait, a Machamp can win the ones, but you don't really want to get your Machamp that low because most Dragonite leads, they have like a steel type in the back. So what I'm gonna try here is I'm gonna throw one cross chop, and I'm gonna save the Rock Slide, but I'm gonna swap at the Rock Slide to catch the Dragon Claw on the Snorlax. At the beginning of this match, I also tried to catch the first Dragon Claw, but that failed. So if your first catch fails, I go for the second. And now I have a cross chop save, just in case there's a steel type in the back. He tries to catch the Body Slam. It's a good play, but I held off on throwing because I know that Snorlax loses CMP versus Dragonite anyway. So I don't have to throw immediately. I go for Superpower, take out the Excadrill. It's really good. I go for another Body Slam right here. Surprisingly, the D-Knight didn't throw its move. Maybe he does, yeah, he just shields up right there. I think he just wants to farm me down, but he does it. That's a good scenario for me because now I can just throw a cross chop and take him out, or farm him down with Amok. Honestly, maybe I should have farmed down with Amok. But Amok with a shield beats pretty much everything. Even if it's Swampert, I think I'd be able to take it, but it's Empoleon. Should be a pretty comfortable matchup for Amok when I have a shield up. Just have to make sure I shoot one of these moves. It's 10 turns to 2 Hydros, and it's only 8 for 2 Dark Pulses. So even though I was 1 fast move, he had 1 fast move energy advantage, I'll still be able to outpace him right here and take him out with 2 Dark Pulses. That is a good game. Oh, 1 more Snarl. Alright, that got pretty close, but we have him. Alright, Politoed lead. XL Politoed lead. Not great because Politoed just outspams Champion is also way bulkier. Weather Ball is also a way better move than Cross Chop. I think if my opponent lets this go, you're gonna see this doesn't even do that much damage. Oh, he shoots it though. Can I get another one? Oh no, I tried to catch the next Weather Ball on Snorlax, but my opponent swaps to G-Fisk. I don't want to go for the Superpower right away here because that one will lower my defense, which will make like the Earthquake KO. Or, and also will lower my attack. So I'm gonna go for the Body Slam first, and after this, 2 Superpowers should be able to KO, or Superpower and a Body Slam. So that's my goal. Even from this range, I should be able to just Superpower and take him out. I think it's gonna be close though. This thing is so bulky. I take him out with the Superpower. We take back Switch Advantage, which is quite nice. Because I don't want my Muk lined up versus the Politoed ideally. Gonna throw a Body Slam right there, does some good damage. Just Politoed is farming up though. He has like 2, I think he's almost at 100 energy because he farmed up so much. So my Machamp's gonna take some damage. Might even have to shield both of these. Let's see, it's gonna be at least one more Mudshot for the next, but yeah, it gets another Weather Ball. Politoed just so incredibly spammy. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot that up right there. Farm down the Politoed. In comes Alolan Ninetales. I'm just gonna throw the Rock Slide. If there's no shield, I can counter this down. If he shields, I can Sludge Wave. At this point, I wanna save my Machamp, and I'm gonna get some counters in, catch the Weather Ball, and now this thing can't get enough energy. What my opponent needs to do right here is take out my Muk, and have enough health remaining to where, and energy remaining to where he can get a Weather Ball on my Machamp before I counter him down. And that's extremely hard because it's already in like 2 counter down range. So I think at this point, I'm just gonna throw a move just to be sure. Yeah, it's now currently in 1 counter range, so my opponent tries to farm, but yeah, there's no way he's getting to 2. That is a good game. Winning against Triple XL with Triple Non-XL always feels good. Talk about XL, we see a Galvantula here. This is a decent matchup. Sometimes I decide to shield, sometimes I don't. This time I shielded the discharge up correctly. I'm just gonna go for the bait right there. I throw in the middle of his Volt Switch animation because sometimes it causes your opponent to overtap if they're not cautious when they throw their charge move. Just gonna shield again. I kind of want to get rid of this Galv. Since he double discharge, I just go straight Crush Stop here. With Galvantula lead, it can be anything in the back, so I really, maybe I want to save my Machamp's energy for later, or its health. So in comes Skarmory, and I decide to swap it to Snorlax here, because I'm hoping to lure out whatever's in the back. Maybe keep Machamp as a sack swap, but honestly, when it's Skarmory, I always have to assume it's Swampert in the back. And if it's Swampert in the back, Muk is not gonna have a good time. So in hindsight, I should have definitely just gone let my Machamp go down, go into Muk into the Skarmory. But still, that would have been quite tough because the Skarmory had shield advantage. A Dark Pulse wouldn't KO from the range he was at, and 2 Sky Attacks would pretty much KO with the Air Slash damage. So it would have been a tough matchup either way, but I definitely could have played this way better. Yeah, in comes the Swampert. He's just gonna farm me down, which is very rough. My only play here is to try to catch an Earthquake or a Hydro on Machamp, but he already goes for a move right there. I didn't get the catch. It is the Earthquake. I just die. In comes Machamp, and he's gonna be able to farm me down. Yes, if I would have just predicted the Swampert, I would have been in a way better spot. All right, Gliscor lead. I've never seen that before, but I gotta dip into Muk because Gliscor versus Machamp is pretty damn good for Gliscor. Probably one of the harder Machamp counters besides the Confusion users. In comes non-Shadow Machamp, so I'm gonna go straight for the Sludge Wave, and it does a bunch of damage, but less than it would versus Shadow. Of course, for Shadow, almost one-shots with the Snarl damage added. I'm just gonna let my Muk go down. I'm hoping I can counter this Machamp down before he gets another Cross Chop. And if he does, I will shield it up. No Crush Chop, luckily. Rock Slide will still do a bunch versus Gliscor. So I'm just gonna throw it right now, and then I'll swap into Muk. Again, that's... Oh no, Snorlax. I've already used Muk. It's a Abomasnow in the back. Not amazing. Not bad either, though, because Superpower almost KOs Abomasnow. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that Weather Ball go through. Let the next one shield the next one up. Because I do want to preserve some health. If I no-shielded that, he would have been able to farm me down, and I want to be able to get off at least 2 moves right here. At least the Body Slam, and hopefully he shields. He doesn't shield, which is quite awkward for me. So now I can just keep going for the Body Slam spam. And at some point here, I'll probably swap into Machamp to get some energy advantage. I don't die to this move right here. He brings in a Gliscor. At the exact time I bring him on Machamp, that's kind of rough. I call the Night Slash here. Doesn't KO. He has another Night Slash. I will shoot it up. I'm gonna go for the Rock Slide here. If he no shields, that gives me a good chance. I overfarm by 1, which in hindsight I should probably not have done. I should have just thrown it immediately because he takes it. I think he was hoping he could farm me down and throw a move. But my Snorlax able to lick it down just in time. That is a really a good game. I think he died with a move there, so that was really good timing. All right, Confusion Gallade. Never seen that before. Bring in Snorlax, in comes the hard counter, Escavalier. I make a really dumb play here, and I click the Body Slam. Honestly, I should have just gone Superpower, because Superpower almost KOs Escav, brings you to the range where Machamp can farm down. At this point, like, Escav still has a bunch of health, which is not ideal, because he's still gonna get to another move versus Shadow Machamp, which is just very, very awkward. If I'd thrown the Superpower there, I would have for sure been able to farm this down. But it is what it is. We have to live with the choices we make, and I gotta shoot it up. I go for the Rock Slide here. Since it's Shadow Guard, this will do a lot of damage, but he no shoots, because he knows he can tank it, and he's probably expecting a counter in the back. In comes Swampert. This is just hard counter all the way, but stay tuned, because we're still gonna make it quite close. Anyway. He takes the Dark Pulse because he can. I'm gonna call a Hydro Cannon right here. I'm hoping it's not an Earthquake. Earthquake will just KO me. It is Earthquake. Not good. But if I can farm this down and get enough energy to triple Cross Chop the guard, I'll be in good shape. But it's gonna be very, very close. I have 2 Cross Chops stored. I go for 1. I still need 3 counters for the next one though, which I don't think I can reach. He has another shield. I go for the Cross Chop. Confusion goes through. That's fine, but I die right here. Still made it quite close. I think if I had thrown the Superpower on the Escavalier, I could have saved the shield. Maybe won this game. All right, Toxicroak. Very tough lead. Very, very tough lead, but not impossible. Because the Machamp Toxicroak matchup is really, really, really close if you shield both moves. I'm just gonna go for a Cross Chop spam here. He can just take me out though. Take the Cross Chop, take another Cross Chop. He's probably gonna shield this up right here. I should be able to get off a lot of counter damage here. We lag a little bit, but that's fine. I'm gonna go into Snorlax to farm him down. I'm gonna have to take a Sludge Bomb though. I could have also attempted to go into like Muk and then tank a Mud Bomb on Snorlax. That might have worked, but this is all good as well. What does he have in the back? It's Kingdra, which is quite tough. A lot of the time with Toxicroak lead, you see like Snorlax and what else in the back? Lapras in the back, and that's quite manageable with this line. But Kingdra is quite tough. I should have swapped out of my Snorlax right there. I thought I would be able to get to another Body Slam, but I wasn't, unfortunately, which put me in a pretty tough spot. Because now this Kingdra will be able to get to a move. I'm gonna go for the Sludge Wave right here, which doesn't KO. Pretty unfortunate. And he gets to another move, which is quite tough. I wasn't debuffed on the first Octazooka. I'm not getting debuffed this Octazooka, which is quite fortunate. In comes the Togekiss. Can I take this out with Muk? This Sludge Wave is gonna get really, really close. Does it KO though? It barely does not. And that Charm also KO'd. That's a GG. So Toxicroak lead, it's quite difficult. Didn't beat it this time. But I've seen Wholesome beat it many times before. It's definitely possible because all 3 of these Pokemon just chunk it. All right, another Galvantula lead. This time, I'm gonna call the lunge. A lot of these Galvs do like to lunge, so I'm gonna call it right here. And now I should be in a decent spot. I'm gonna Cross Chop bait again in the middle of his Volt Switch. After this move, he should have the lunge ready, but because I threw in the middle, he might has a chance to overtap, which he does. He wasn't very cautious with tapping his move, which allows me to get to this Rock Slide, KO the Spider. I just beat the Spider in a 0-1 shield advantage with the Machamp, which is pretty insane, to be honest. This allows me to line up my Muk versus the Venusaur, which is ideal. That's ideal. Just gotta make sure I throw these Dark Pulses in the middle of a Vine Whip, so he can't like Sack Swap to whatever he has in the back, which could be anything really, but it's probably an anti-fire if I were to guess. So maybe like Kingdra. Maybe like Lapras? I don't know. We're gonna see. Throw another Dark Pulse. It is Umbreon, which is really, really tough for this line. All my fast moves are now resisted. Without Machamp, the Licks and the Snarls are resisted by Umbreon, of course. But I do have the Superpower on a Snorlax. So my plan here is to just take a couple foul plays, throw a Body Slam, and then go for the Superpowers on this XL Umbreon. Gonna take the next one because it doesn't do that much damage. I can still take it. I'm gonna farm up as much as I can, as I wanna throw these superpowers as late as possible, because they debuff me. Of course, you want to make sure you throw those moves as late as possible, so the debuff effect lasts as little time as possible, basically, so you can get some extra lick damage before throwing them. I'm gonna throw it right now, right before it gets to another foul play, right before switch timer comes up. That's also important. In comes Venusaur. I have another Body Slam stored. I have Silver Shield after this. After this, I'm gonna swap into Muk because I'm almost at Dark Pulse. I throw the Dark Pulse and we take the win. That is a great victory, all because of that, that mechanics win at the start of the game. Basically, making the Galvantula overtap was huge. Anyway, Machamp into Abomasnow. In comes Machamp counter swap, which is very awkward because Machamp is basically the best Machamp answer, so I'm gonna have to stay in right here. He gets to the cross shop at the same time as me. I still have Snorlax and Muk in the back, so even if this Machamp takes out my Machamp, I'm still fine, because all three of these Pokemon can handle Abomasnow. Because I noticed that he was in sync with me, I decided to shoot that move and just counter down. And what I do here is something really stupid. I go for the cross chop. I was expecting the Abomasnow to come back and just farm me down, or something else. But so Talonflame, he no shields. I should have just rock slided, and I would have been in such a good spot, to be honest. That is a huge mistake by me right there. But I just bring in my Snorlax. I still have this Muk for the Abomasnow, which is quite alright. If he shoots here, might be in a decent spot. Brave Bird would do a ton, though. Here comes the Brave Bird, does a ton of damage. I'm gonna try to go for the Body Slam. In comes the Abomasnow. I try to build up the Body Slam and then swap, but he takes me out. It's a really good play. He's almost at another move with the Talonflame. He's either one off or he's there. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna farm up to 100, throw the Sludge Wave, and I'm gonna have to finish this matchup with a Dark Pearl stored. So I'm gonna undercharge this Sludge Wave, because from this range a fully charged Sludge Wave would KO the Abomasnow. Doesn't KO it now with the undercharge, and I get to the Dark Pulse. Do I win CMP versus Talonflame? I do not. Very unfortunate. If I would have just thrown the Rock Slide right there, I would have had the game. I should have just been patient and threw it immediately, or waited for the typing to pop up and then decide what to throw, but I wasn't. Alright, Umbreon lead into my Machamp is amazing, of course. In comes Granbull. This is quite tough. This could be the double charm line, which is very annoying for this line, especially if they save 2 shields for a back charmer. It's pretty much impossible. That is the main downside of this team. But if you can burn a shield with Snorlax, you're usually in a kind of decent spot. I take this Granbull out. He still has 2 shields, which is quite unfortunate. I'm just gonna go for the superpowers right here. Really hoping this Umbreon shields one of these, because if it's a Togekiss in the back, I need 1 shield down, because with in a 1-to-1 shield scenario, Muk can win versus Togekiss, or does win versus Togekiss. But in a 2 shield scenario, he can't, because it just gets charmed down. I go for another superpower right here. Hopefully my opponent shields this, because even if he no shield, it's gonna be tough. Oh no. In comes the Ninetales though, which is really good, and it's a Powder Stone Ninetales, which is epic, so my opponent just concedes, probably knowing I have the Muk in the back, and knowing that's over. Even a Machamp versus Ninetales is pretty close, so that's alright. Alright, we have another one of these, alright. Umbreon lead, in comes the Clefable. I'll make a very quick swap into Lax. Again, same game plan. I gotta win switch right there. I know there's likely another Fairy or Charmer in the back, so I'm just gonna go for the Body Slams right here. Oh, we CMP tie on this one, which is quite unfortunate, but even still, I just want to take out this Clefable, and that's what I'm gonna do right here. I'm gonna undercharge, and I get 1 free lick in because of that. That's quite huge. Well, it's only 1 lick, but it's still nice. It's better than 0 licks. I don't go for the superpower right here, which in hindsight was a big misplay. Of course, I should have pressed it, but I survive. I survived, so it's all good. I go for the superpower. This will do a good chunk of damage versus the Umbreon, and he's almost energy dry, so my Machamp really doesn't have to worry. I go for the cross chop right here. He's staying in with Umbreon, which makes me think this might not be Double Charmer. Because usually they just swap immediately, but he doesn't. He goes for a move. I catch it on Muk, which in hindsight might have been a misplay because if it's Double Charmer, I need that health. It is a Togekiss, and I just quit. I just quit because of Togekiss. Togekiss just takes out both Alolan Muk and Machamp with 2 shoots. But in hindsight, honestly, maybe I could have gone into a triple Dark Pulse and then Rock Slid it to death. Maybe I should not have quit. But double Charmer in the back with 2 shoots is honestly pretty impossible for this line. That is the main downside of this line. But besides that, this team has play versus pretty much everything. Again, if you want even more insight of this team, go check out the wholesome_stream. I'll put the link in the description. He goes over all the nuances there. Anyway, I'll be back in the next video. See ya.